Check 1 2, check 1 2. Cool. All right, maybe clap again. Okay, 1 2 3, clap. 1 2, clap. 3.
Okay, so Greg Bennick, first of all, thank you that you took your time to have this interview with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here at Jugendcafe. And I know that everybody says that. Everybody says I'm so excited to be here. But really, for me, when Trial first played in 2012 here at Jugendcafe, it was such a good night. And since then, we've been friends. We haven't just had this experience of venue, band, play show, the end. It's been a friendship over 6 years. So to be back here is like being amongst friends. It's just really incredible.
Okay, so you got a couple of bands and you're 100 for Haiti and stuff, and you're a very busy man, and how do you manage to actually get this all done within 24 hours?
I think I don't. What I think is I try to think of each day as being, I'm going to get something done during the day, something accomplished. Like, was there a win today? Was there a success today? And if there was, it doesn't have to be a success in each project each day. It can just be a success in the day. So for example, yesterday was a great spoken word success, but nothing happened yesterday for Between Earth and Sky. That's all right. Today on the train, I'll work on Between Earth and Sky lyrics, but I'm not going to speak anywhere. And everything moves along by working on each project whenever I can, a little bit at a time. I just try to make sure that nothing stagnates too long, meaning nothing stays still for too long.
Okay. One thing that would be interesting is maybe, how did you get into the punk and hardcore scene, or how did this get started for you?
So when I was in high school, there was a couple kids. There's always a couple kids, right, who are into it, and you find out through these couple kids. The question should be, where did the couple kids find out about punk rock? Because everyone has an older brother or a cousin or somebody at their school who found out about punk rock that they learned from. I need to find out where all those people learned from, because that's who I learned from, was from a couple kids at school. I was in high school. I think I just hit the table. I was in high school, and there was a couple guys at my school who were into punk rock. And I started listening to punk rock because of them. I mean, ultimately, I just thought that they were really cool because they weren't listening to whatever everybody on the radio, was listening to on the radio at the time, or they were just living a very different life. So I thought, that looks interesting to me. And at the time, I grew up near a club called the Anthrax in Connecticut, where there was a lot of legendary shows. And there was a band called Husker Du who came through Connecticut at the time, and I went to see Husker Du. And backstage at that Husker Du show, my friend and I were walking around, and one of the guys from Husker Du was about to drink some water from a water fountain. And my friend said, "Welcome to Connecticut," the state where we were from, to the guy as he was just about to drink the water. And as the guy went in to drink, my friend added, "Just don't drink the water here." And he said it as a joke, and it made the guy from Husker Du laugh. And I thought, oh my God, in punk rock and hardcore, you can talk to the musicians and they'll listen to you? This is incredible. That never happens when you're listening to Motley Crue. You don't like talk to them backstage. You can talk to people in punk rock and hardcore. I thought, this is incredible. That was the moment where everything changed for me, because I realized how accessible punk rock was. We could be the same as the musicians, as our heroes, and they could be our friends. And that was really interesting for me. So it all started with that and the early shows that I went to.
Okay. And how did you get into straight edge? Was there any certain event that you said, okay, I'm doing this now, or?
I was drinking a lot when I was in high school and experimenting with drugs. And I was never really happy with it. I just found that it wasn't me. It didn't feel like the way that I wanted to be or the way that I wanted to live. And in addition to acting like an idiot, acting like a jerk when I was drunk, there was one night in particular I remember where I was at a party and some kids were there, and they were trashing this field where we were having the party and throwing garbage. And I just thought, this just isn't what I want my life to be, hanging out with people like this. And at the time, I was listening to Uniform Choice, and their song No Thanks came on one day when I was driving. And the lyric was, if drinking's what it takes to be accepted, I'd rather stay aware and be rejected. And I thought, that's the answer. That's it. Like, I don't have to be at the party where everyone's acting like just a jerk to everybody else. I don't have to be the one who's drunk and the center of attention because I'm being, weird and intoxicated. I can be on my own. I can do my own thing. So a combination of punk rock and the influence of straight edge, like punk rock ideals and the influence of straight edge, really led to me living a very different life than I would have if I just went along with everybody else.
Yesterday you had your spoken word, and what are the next dates where you're talking, and what are your future plans with this thing?
Well, yesterday at Jugendcafe was one of the best nights of my life. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, I was texting friends last night saying, this is one of the best nights of my life. And what made it the best night of my life wasn't just that my set went well and people reacted and they laughed and it was a really good response. The whole night was amazing. It was the right venue and the right night, and big audience and just a lot of friendship in the room. Everything came together perfectly. But then also the conversation we had afterwards for a couple hours about all ages music, how to improve the position of Jugendcafe in the community, how to help improve the community, which helps the community and Jugendcafe. This was a brilliant conversation. It's exactly what I want my spoken word nights to be. I don't just want it to be the Greg Bennick comedy hour or the Greg Bennick political hour or the Greg Bennick spoken word hour. I want it to be that, and I want it to be a workshop or a discussion with everybody. I want every night to be like that. So when you ask what my plans are next, I want every night to be like last night. And I've thought about going to South America and touring through there and talking to people about politics each night. I've thought about, hopefully going back to Russia, because my Russian tour was incredible. It was so good. And talking to people there about their situations. I want every night to have a combination of, sure, me talking, but then everybody sharing ideas as well. So the next dates that I'm going to be speaking, I'll speak at Yperfest in Belgium this next weekend. And then after that, that's it for speaking dates. My tour, my spoken word tour of Europe this summer for a month was more of a spoken word hangout, more than it was a spoken word tour. Because a tour, you want to speak every night. This was me speaking, hanging out for a day or two, then speaking, hang out for a week, somewhere else. It was a spoken word hangout. So my future plans are to do spoken word tours and spoken word hangouts as much as I can and make connections as much as possible internationally with people. I think there's a lot of value in building an international network that can then support one another through helping connections happen between people. So maybe you've got an issue here and I can connect you with somebody back home who can help. Or maybe I've got an issue somewhere and somebody knows somebody who can help. Those sorts of things are really what's coming out of the more spoken word touring that I'm doing, and it's really great that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to say about Jugendcafe?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Jugendcafe so much, and I always will, especially after last night. I mean, where else can you go to have access to music and such good people, friendly people, willing to help? Homemade fresh vegan pizza, I mean, forget about it. It's just and homemade fresh ice cream. I mean, the most punk rock thing ever said to me was last night when somebody, I will not name names, said to me, "We made you fresh vegan ice cream out of blueberries stolen from the national forest." I mean, that's punk rock right there. That's amazing. So, I mean, where else can you get that other than Jugendcafe? So I will always be very happy to have Jugendcafe in my memories and hopefully in my future as well. But what I would love to do is have people know that we can build community in their community too. So as people watch this, whether they're from other parts of Germany or whether they're from other parts of the world, let's schedule a spoken date in your community too, wherever that might be, because we can do what we did here, which is have not only talks and ideas, but sharing a community discussion about issues that are important in your community too. and I'm always happy to hear ideas about where people might want to hear me speak. So I that's what's in the future: more touring, more shows, and more punk rock, spoken word hangouts.
Okay, that's it.
Cool. Thank you. Swans as weapons.